Yo, what's up guys? AFC Udino here and welcome to a new video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to reach 120 wins fast in the battle tower without stalling, without cheesy setup, and without wasting time. The reason we want 120 wins is to unlock a weekly boss you can farm, and after that you can just farm 100 wins a day. Should be easily doable in 10, 15 or 15 minutes. We're using an offensive team, guys, so it's super easy to pilot, and I'm going to break it down for you. Before we get into it, guys, the battle tower will be in the fight area. You go up there. This is called the battle frontier, and there are two towers you can actually do. You have the top one, that's the weekly battle tower, and you have the right one, which is the daily one. We are going to be focusing on the right one because you can farm this one daily, and you need 120 wins to unlock a weekly boss you can farm. So basically how this battle tower works is you can challenge it every day, and each time you win, your win streak increases. If you lose a battle, your win streak gets reset to 0. You earn battle points based on your win streak milestones. So if you win 10 battles, 10 wins, you get 1 battle point. 20 wins in a row is 2 battle points. 30 wins in a row is 3 battle points. So if you win 100 battles in a row, you get 10 battle points. But there is a rule about this. You can only receive battle points on a milestone once per day. So if you already had 30 wins and you lost at 34, if you do it again, you won't get any battle points for the first 30 wins. But this is really important to note. We are aiming to at least get 120 wins just once on an account, and then you can just go for 100 wins daily. It should be really easy. You can easily do that in 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah, that's what I'll be showing you guys in this video. So if that sounds exciting to you guys or helpful, then definitely hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well, and like always, guys, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. But yeah, let's go over the team we created for this. Okay guys, the team. There are probably a lot of cheesy setup things you can do. If you go for a stall setup, then I'm pretty sure you can get a high win streak, but we want to be efficient here because the amount of battle points you get, obviously the higher the win streak, the more points you get, but in terms of time, it's typically not worth it because you can get 100 wins really quickly and then just do it the next day. You get most of your battle points from the weekly one anyway, which I will cover in another video. But farming this one is really good, especially when you are in the storyline, if you are preparing for a PvP team or something, because there are a lot of items you can get from this battle tower. If we open this up and just open the battle tokens shop, then yeah, there are a few Pokemon, but there are items like the black sludge, right? You have some evolution stones, you have some TMs, which might be important, but the most important one of all is going to be the focus ashes and the heavy duty boots, if I can't find them. The heavy duty boots. Because heavy duty boots is just a really important competitive item to have in this game. Okay guys, the team. First up, we have Iron Valiant with a naive nature, and we go for max speed, max special attack, and the rest into attack. And the following moveset: Thunderbolt, Moonblast, Close Combat, and Knockoff. Iron Valiant is going to be the lead in all of your games. With Booster Energy, you'll outspeed nearly every Pokemon that tries to set up on the first turn, even if they go for a speed boost like Quiver Dance or even Agility. He has tons of coverage and can usually 1-hit KO or 2-hit KO most Pokemon you'll face. So if you play smart with Iron Valiant, it can sweep entire teams on its own. Next up, we have Garchomp. Garchomp is here for a few key reasons. He's immune to Thunder Wave, which is the most annoying status move you'll face in the Battle Tower. He also deals with poison types, which Iron Valiant struggles a lot against. So for Garchomp, I just have a Jolly Nature, really standard. I have the loaded dice, and we're going for max speed, max attack, and the moveset is Earthquake, so we can deal with those poison types. We have Skill Shot, so we can increase our own speed, and in combination with loaded dice, you can get at least 4 hits, meaning that it will at least be 100 base power, but it can also be 120 base power, and you increase your speed. If Garchomp increases his speed, he can also take over games on his own. We have Fire Fang, just as coverage against Flying Steels, and we have Swords Dance if we want to sweep in the end game. The ability Rough Skin is really nice as well, to get some chip damage on stuff. And Garchomp is just bulky overall, so if Iron Valiant has a bad matchup like a poison type, we can switch Garchomp in. Finally, to round out this team, guys, we have Ceruledge. Ceruledge with the weak armor ability, meaning that if he gets hit by a physical attack, it lowers his defense, but it doubles his speed, which makes for some crazy setup potential. We have the Focus Sash, so that he always guarantees a hit. So if we face a physical attacker and he goes for a physical attack, that's gonna be really good, because we can combine this with Swords Dance and just take over games. Bitter Blade to recover our HP and go for some strong stab fire move. We have Poltergeist. It is a bit scary to click, but 110 base power pretty much one-shots anything. And then we have Shadow Sneak to pick off low HP targets. Ceruledge is basically our get out of jail free card if we struggle in a certain match, just because with the Focus Sash it's gonna guarantee a hit. Then we can choose to either Sword Stance or go for a big attack into Bitter Blade or Poltergeist, and then Shadow Sneak to pick it off if something is low. But the way we want to use Ceruledge, guys, is by being the Fairy Resist, because we have Iron Valiant and we have Garchomp on the same team, meaning that we are gonna be weak to Fairy. Since Ceruledge is a fire type, he's gonna be a resistance to Fairy types. Because think about the bulky Fairy types like Sylveon and Florges. Iron Valiant cannot one-shot them. We don't have any super effective moves. If you face something like Ribombee will die to Moonblast if it doesn't have a Focus Sash. But those bulky ones, you can switch in Ceruledge. Ceruledge will resist the attack, and from there you can decide, am I going to Bitter Blade to weaken it, or am I just going to Sword Stance and Bitter Blade and get all the HP back? But that's all that I will cover all that in the decision making. This is basically the idea. They can take over games on their own, but they also work really well together, and it doesn't require any cheesy setup, just straightforward. And this is how we are going to farm our wins fast. Okay guys, now let's talk about decision making, specifically turn 1, because all battles are pretty much decided there. If you do the Battle Tower often, you also start to recognize common NPC sets, but here is a simple guide to help you win most of your battles. Versus poison types, switch to Garchomp unless they have Levitate like Weezing, or are partly a grass type like Roserade and Venusaur. If that's the case, switch to Ceruledge instead. Versus bulky fairy types, think of Florges and Sylveon that don't die to Moonblast, or you don't have a super effective move against them. Switch to Ceruledge and decide, am I going to Sword Stance here, or am I going to Bitter Blade and try to weaken them so that I can kill them with Ceruledge, or in case Ceruledge dies, pick them up with either Iron Valiant or Garchomp. But if the fairy type is frail like Ribombee, or you have a super effective move, then just kill them with Iron Valiant. Versus Thunder Wave users, think of Pokemon like Klefki and Minun. They can surprise you with Thunder Wave, and it's so freaking frustrating dealing with that. In those cases, just switch to Garchomp immediately, because even though you can one-shot Minun with Moonblast, they often have stuff like Focus Sash, so you can just go into Garchomp instead. But first check if they have an air balloon. Always check if they have an air balloon before you do anything with Garchomp. So play safe in that regard. Check the battle log. And next up versus Quiver Dance users, think about Butterfree, for example. What they often do is click Sleep Powder on the first turn, and they have a Focus Sash. So if you Moonblast into them, and they activate Focus Sash and click Sleep Powder, if they connect, switch to Ceruledge immediately, because they will always Quiver Dance on the next turn. So if they do that, you can Shadow Sneak kill them, and then you can always choose to sacrifice Iron Valiant if you need to bring in Garchomp to kill the next Pokemon, for example. And lastly, versus Ghost types, if you have a super effective move against them, aside from knockoff, always knock off first and then use that super effective move. But in general, you just want to knock off first and then use Moonblast or the super effective move. Let's say you face Jellicent. Even though Thunderbolt is super effective, you want to knock it off first and then use Thunderbolt. Because they will often Will-O-Wisp you, meaning that your knockoff will be much weaker. And versus Cofagrigus, for example, you want to knock it off first and then Moonblast. To basically pick it off. It's always going to be a 2-hit KO in those scenarios. But that's basically the last thing. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to play the battles, guys. And yeah, we're going to go for the 120 wins in this video just to show you how to do it. Like I said, the battles start off really easy. So for the first 70 or 80 battles, instead of booster energy, I just recommend putting a choice specs on Iron Valiant and just spam Moonblast. Because they are going to be really low level, and even if they resist the attack, they will just drop to Moonblast. So I'm just going to go into the battles, and yeah, get some popcorn, guys. Okay, so like I said, guys, we're just going to put a choice specs on Iron Valiant instead of booster. And you just check which slot you have Moonblast on. In my case, it's 2. We're going to talk, and we're just going to spam 2. Spam spacebar, spam 2, and we're not even looking at what we'll face. Sometimes you do face something that can actually kill you if they have stuff like Sturdy or a Slowbro with Quick Draw. Then Iron Valiant dies, but then Garchomp or Ceruledge can easily pick up the game. You really don't. This game really doesn't need your attention for the first like 70 to 80 battles, because Moonblast there's no immunity to Moonblast, so you can just spam this move, and even if they set up or something, you are level 100, they are level 50, 60, 70. So Moonblast from Specs Iron Valiant is already really strong. So what I'll do, guys, I'm gonna speed up the video. And come back when we hit 70 or 80. Okay, guys, right here, randomly Iron Valiant dies because of a bad matchup, but since it's still early, Garchomp and Ceruledge will just pick it off anyway. I also forgot to turn on the 3D sprites. Might be more visually appealing. Okay, let's continue. Okay, guys, we reached 70 wins. So now you can decide whether you want to keep going with the choice specs. I typically do that when I'm really lazy and just go to 80. But for the sake of the video, I think the more consistent approach will be just putting the booster on him. So from here on, we're just gonna play a bit more smartly. With the booster energy, we're just gonna go for the super effective move whenever we have it. There's the ghost type. See, they're gonna Will-O-Wisp first, even though we have Thunderbolt. We can knock them off first and then use Thunderbolt. Here, just Moonblast, and like I said, just going for the super effective move. This is Zen mode, so he's gonna be really bulky. This is the bulky fairy type, but in this case, we had a super effective move against him, so that would have been fine. Right here, we face a poison type, and he doesn't have air balloon, so we're just gonna go guard him because Moonblast doesn't one-shot this. He resists close combat, and Thunderbolt and knock off our neutral, and he can knock us out with a poison type. So we're gonna go this. Even though he Swords Dances, we're switching out, and I'm just gonna keep this guy in. He sets up, that's fine. I guess just going for the super effective move. In this case, close combat is stab, so we want to go for dab and Moonblast. Again, it's a poison type, and we want to look if he has an air balloon, right? So he sent out Skunk Tank, but there's no message of an air balloon, so we're just gonna go into this guy. Deal Bug, meaning that Earthquake is neutral. I don't want to miss Fire Fang if I can. Mimikyu in this case is really frail, so we're just gonna attack. He sets up anyway. Stunfisk, gonna check, because Stunfisk doesn't have the Levitate ability, but we're checking if he has an air balloon. He doesn't, so we're just gonna go Garchomp. He sets up rocks this time, but he could have Thunder Wave. Now Electrode comes out. There's no air balloon. Always check when you face an electric type or something weak to Earthquake if it has an air balloon. Because it's really easy to miss. Right here is Abstrika. Even we can still just go into Garchomp. See, it Thunder Waved. And he doesn't have an air balloon, so we can just Earthquake the guy. I'm not gonna switch out against this. Yeah, we're just gonna keep attacking. This we can just attack. This is a Psychic type, so we can knock it off and attack Serena. Doesn't matter if it kills us. We can now go into this and just go for Bitter Blade. We couldn't Shadow Sneak because Psychic Terrain was up, but we had a Focus Sash anyway. If there's no Psychic Terrain in that case, we just go for Shadow Sneak. Now we face this. I'm just gonna Moonblast this, knock off the Poltergeist, and just Moonblast this. It typically shows what's super effective as well. In this case, I'm hitting this with Thunderbolt, just because I know his special defense is really low. His physical defense is higher, even though close combat does more damage. But he could have Sturdy. Crobat with Thunderbolt into him. And right here, I'm just gonna click Skill Shop, and then we're just gonna Fire Fang. Right here, close combat this, Moonblast this. It's pretty nice if they have things that we have super effective damage against. It is pretty straightforward. In this case, he has a Torkoal. He could Will-O-Wisp me here, so I'm actually gonna close combat first, and then Thunderbolt. We can knock this off. It's a Psychic type, and we still, even though it's Trick Room, we still have Focus Sash in the back, so we can just Bitter Blade. Oranguru is a normal type, so we cannot Shadow Sneak him. Right here, just a Thunderbolt. He just sets up a Shell Smash, and this is why the booster is so nice, because even with his Shell Smash, we're gonna be faster. That's why I like this as a lead. Right here, just Moonblast spam. He's gonna Sticky Web Toxic always. And we face the Swallow. We don't really do anything against this. But he doesn't have Levitate, he doesn't have an air balloon, so we can just go Garchomp and just Earthquake the guy, and then Earthquake against this. And we had the rough skin, so that's why it's really nice to have that rough skin. Against Aegis Slash, since it is the blade form, he's gonna be really squishy, so we can just knock him off. Right here, I am just gonna click close combat this as well, and then we can just Thunderbolt this. This is a fire bug type. We don't really have super effective damage against this, but I'm still gonna go into my Chomp here and just spam Earthquake. And just Fire Fang this again, and then pick it up with our Valiant. Like I said, you do want to be a bit smart with your mods. In this case, Gigalith, he has the he's really bulky on the physical side. So what I'm actually gonna do, instead of close combating, I'm gonna Moonblast him first just to weaken him, and then we're gonna close combat. Then we go into Garchomp. Always try to keep Ceruledge last, unless you see something you can beat easily. Right here, we're just gonna close combat because his special defense is really good. I'm gonna close combat this as well. Just go close combat everything, I guess. Gonna knock this off, and I'm just gonna click Moonblast here. It's up bug type, and I'm just gonna Moonblast again, and against this we're just gonna stay in as well. Close combat, it's pretty nice that it shows green as well, and whenever we have super effective damage. But this is also good why it's nice to know the base stats of Pokemon. That way you can know if you want to hit them with a special or physical move. For example, nothing is super effective against Hippowdon, but since we know that Hippowdon has a really high defense stat and a lower special defense stat, we can hit him with Moonblast and do like a bit more damage to the guy. This is super effective. Here, the Victory Bell, the poison type, but he's also a grass type. So in this case, instead of going Garchomp, we want to go Ceruledge. And he Swords Dance up, so it's a bit scary to click Swords Dance ourselves, but since we have the Focus Sash, we can just Bitter Blade the guy. Now Pangoro comes in. We could go directly into Iron Valiant. The way it's designed is that they will go for the super effective move if they have it, so we can just switch. He knocks us off, doesn't matter, we don't have an item. And Avalok, even though close combat is super effective, we know Avalok has a really high defense stat, but a lower special defense set, so it's probably better to hit him on this side. And same for Empoleon. Empoleon has a higher special defense stat, so hitting him with close combat, it's also stabbed, will guarantee us the kill. And just close combat everything. Gardevoir is partly a fairy type and a psychic type. In this case, it's a bit scary to go into Ceruledge, because he could click Psychic on us as well, and then we're gonna take a lot of damage for it. So in this case, I am just gonna click Moonblast, as he clicks Moonblast himself, which is fine. Garchomp is faster, we saw the Life Orb, so he cannot be Scarfed. And against Steelix, we should not die to anything, so I am actually gonna click Swords Dance, as he clicks Curse. And then we knock off the Sand Slash as well. Had he gone for Rocks, that means that we got a free setup with Garchomp. And right here, we can just Moonblast, as he sets up with Focus Sash, and I am just gonna click Thunderbolt on this as well, because he could have Sturdy. Electros, he has Levitate, so we have to be a bit mindful about that. So I'm just gonna Moonblast. He clicks Flash Cannon, which is fine. We're gonna Bitter Blade. I don't want to miss the other move. And right here, I'm just gonna click Poltergeist. We miss, which is unfortunate. And against Gothpatel, we're just gonna chill. Moonblast the fighting type, and I'm gonna knock off this is psychic type. We're gonna knock off this first. He clicks Psyshock, and then we can just knock him out with Thunderbolt and close combat this guy. And then we see Tangrowth here. We're just gonna Moonblast. His special defense is really low. This is a fire type. We don't have super effective damage against this. In this case, he doesn't have the air balloon, so we can just go Garchomp. Clicks Facade, and we Earthquake, and then we Earthquake Gardevoir as well. And that got us 100 wins, so now we gotta play really, really tactically. Okay, now that we got 100 wins, we want to play really carefully, because the Pokemon you'll face are gonna be 100, they're gonna be level 110 if you get even further, so they're gonna be really difficult to beat if you don't pay attention. And normally, if you already have the 120 wins before, you don't have to do this, and this would be the point that I would try to lose, or not to try as hard to win, because ideally you want to reset your win streak back to 0 for the next day, because otherwise if you try it the next day you're gonna continue at 110, and even though it's nice for more battle points, it is not consistent, because it takes just a bad matchup or just some bad RNG to get back to 0 again. And if you lose at not, let's say you have 110 wins and you lose at 119, it just feels so freaking bad. While getting 200 wins is just gonna be consistent and you get guaranteed points for it. That's why I just recommend after 100 wins to not try as hard. If you keep winning, that's cool. A lot of times with this team, I try to lose, but I end up at 140, 150. Just because we're getting good matchups and stuff. But in general, you do want to reset it back to 0 and then go to the next thing you want to do. But yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say about reaching 100. Let's just try to get 120 now. Okay, let's continue from 100 onwards. Just a disclaimer, guys. This is not a guaranteed way to get 120 wins, because a lot of bad matchups, RNG could happen. But you should definitely be able to consistently get to this point. So right here, Roserade, and Roserade is a poison type. It's also a grass type, so we're gonna go Ceruledge here. We are pretty low here, so I'm just gonna Bitter Blade as he Shadow Sneaks. Kinda sad. It was life orbed. Right here we have the fighting type. So we have to think about this. Iron Valiant has a pretty good defense, right? We cannot one-shot this. I know Iron Valiant can one-shot this, so we're gonna preserve a Mon by going into this. And then we see the Nidoking, Garchomp should be able to deal, so we're just gonna knock. And then Garchomp goes down. We see the Walrein. I'm gonna Thunderbolt it first, because close combat will probably not knock it out. He's really bulky on the physical side. Now we can close combat him. We're gonna Moonblast this guy. We barely live, and I'm close combating this guy as well. The Dragonite, doesn't matter if he Dragon Dances up, so we're just gonna Moonblast. He's gonna click Dual Wing Beat. I am gonna Skill Shot now, and I have to Skill Shot here as well, fortunately, and Skill Shot again. Luckily we didn't miss. And Skill Shot this. Never missing Skill Shot. We see the Musharna. I am going to use Knock Off here, as he is going to set up. I have to weaken this, unfortunately. So now we're gonna go into you. And I'm gonna Fire Fang this as well. Fire Fang again. He misses. Sometimes you just need a bit of RNG. Luckily, we got it there. Okay, Crobat will live Thunderbolt, but on the other hand, we don't have a switch in. He's definitely gonna Brave Bird on us. So there are two things we can do. We can Thunderbolt, let ourselves die, and hope that these two can do it. Or we go into Ceruledge, because I know for a fact he's gonna Brave Bird us. Activate the ability and then use Bitter Blade to knock this out so that we don't lose a Pokemon. And now I can use Shadow Sneak to get some chip off. Poltergeist could have missed, that's why I didn't go for it. And we can just go into this guy. Should be able to live a hit. And then Garchomp should be able to pick this off. Just gonna click Close Combat just to get some chip. Close Combat again. We can Moonblast this easily. And right here, we already got the advantage. I am just gonna click Close Combat, do as much damage as possible. Pick this up with Shadow Sneak in case he has Ice Shard, and we're gonna Bitter Blade this guy. Basically, right now you wanna see if you can save a Pokemon. In this case, we just wanna Moonblast this. I do wanna click Close Combat against this. And I'm just gonna go Garchomp first to see what we'll face. We're gonna Fire Fang. keep Fire Fanging, and we got the burn. Now I can just click Earthquake. 107. We see the Line Noon. Definitely close combating this, Moonblasting this. And we're gonna Moonblast the Quagsire as well. Mandibuzz. Definitely want to Moonblast that guy. Gonna knock off here. And now we're just gonna Moonblast. And this should be enough for Garchomp to knock it out. Gonna attack it, evasiveness boost. That is one of the things you can definitely lose to if someone uses Minimize. A really common Pokemon that uses Minimize is Muk. Versus Muk, if you have Iron Valiant in, you can knock it off first, because he's gonna Minimize pretty much 100% of the times and then go into Garchomp. Even if you miss all your moves, Garchomp will kill it with the Rough Skin. Basically, Muk will kill himself. But we are at 109. We see the Goat. Right here, we cannot kill this guy, and he has pretty good special defense. So I'm actually going to switch here. And I'm going to SD on him and use Bitter Blade. Gonna Bitter Blade this as well. And now I'm going to Shadow Sneak this. That's 110 wins, 11 battle tokens. And now we face the Comfy. Definitely not a good matchup, so we're going for the switch here. And I am just going to keep attacking this. And we see he doesn't touch, so I can actually set up on the guy. And I'm gonna just Bitter Blade here, knock this out, and I will just Poltergeist, see if I can knock this out. And we're just gonna go for the Bitter Blade on this guy. Moonblast this. We have the booster, that's why we have the booster. Thunderbolt this, and he freezes us, which is unfortunate. And Wet Shock is not a problem at all. So 112 wins, guys. Heracross, we can Moonblast. Substrike. See, he goes for the Thunder Wave, and we just Earthquake this. I just Earthquake this as well. Doesn't really matter what he does, because we always have Iron Valiant in the back. I Moonblast this as well. Go Garchomp here, Solgaleo. Making sure that he doesn't have an Air Balloon. Always, if Earthquake is super effective, always check if they have an Air Balloon or if they have Levitate. You can just hover your mouse and see the ability. So there is no Air Balloon or whatsoever. So we can just Earthquake. Wet Shock, we just close combat. Electivire. Does Electivire have a balloon? Yes, he does. So in that case, two things we can do. We could go Garchomp, but we have to click Skill Shot and maybe we miss. Like maybe we miss, right? Or we stay in and chip this. But here's the thing, I like Iron Valiant because we don't know what is last and we have two physical attackers. So I'm still gonna make the... Just because we are one Pokemon ahead, we can just go this and we can Skill Shot him here. He dies to himself. And now we face this. I'm just gonna close combat. Garchomp would have been better in this matchup, but it's fine. Moonblast this. He sets up. Zoroark should be easy, and we can knock off the Raichu. 116, guys. Close combat to Tyranitar. He gets a special defense boost if we click Moonblast and might live. We Moonblast this. He sets up. He's gonna die to Sandstorm, and we Moonblast this as well. Should be fine. 117, guys. So Luxray, making sure he hit, because we don't knock him out with the Moonblast, and he could Thunder Wave us as well. No Air Balloon, so we're gonna go you, and indeed he does Thunder Wave us. Earthquake this guy, and we keep attacking into this guy as well. Can actually set up on him too. Okay, now we can set up more. Check this. Cool. 118. Rose Rate. Again, it's the poison. It's the poison type. We could go Garchomp first as well. Seeing what happened last time, he's gonna be level 101, but Garchomp should still be faster. However, like I said, Ceruledge should live anything. Cool. Gonna Bitter Blade this too. And then Shadow Sneak. And now we have the Sash against this. Gonna Poltergeist into Shadow Sneak. 119. We see the Frostlass, the Ghost type. We're gonna knock this off first. And I'm gonna Thunderbolt the Poison type. Gonna knock off the Mew. And I'm just gonna Moonblast to finish him off, and that is 120. So definitely need some good matchups, but from 100 to 120, that's where you gotta be a bit smart. You basically think about this: if you have a bad matchup, can one of your switches switch in and beat the guy? So like the electric types or poison types, Garchomp can often come in and kill them with Earthquake, right? Check if they have a balloon, or with the fairy types, Ceruledge can come in and attack the guy. Because if you cannot do that, then it's probably better to just attack them with Iron Valiant. But just keep the tips I had in the beginning in mind. Just definitely go over them, and yeah, focus on that. Because Iron Valiant in the lead can basically beat a lot of guys. And like I said, you just get 120 once, and then don't bother going that far. Just go for 100 wins a day. Should be really easy with this team. And then you get a lot of battle points. I'm really close. I'm really close. I'm like, I think it's 1767. Yeah, 1767. So I need like 230, 240 for the Gardevoir Megastone. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Maybe something I forgot or you struggle with, let me know. And if you are just starting out, guys, you just finished Sinnoh and you might not be able to afford all of them, then I would say prioritize on getting the Iron Valiant, specifically Naive. You could go with a Timid one as well, but if you go with this, buy it. He learns all the move. The only move you need to get is Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt you can buy from the trade house or do some Dynamax. Let's see, Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt. I cannot even type. Basically, get 50 Dynador, or you just buy it from the trade house. But it's a really good investment, and this one can be used for PvP. It's also really good in the Versus Seeker. All of these guys are really good in the Versus Seeker, guys. So I definitely recommend getting this. I will create a Versus Seeker video as well. And oh, well, well, I needed to lose anyway. So now we basically play like we don't care. We basically play like we don't care, guys. And you'll notice when you play like you don't care, you often just keep winning. you often just keep winning. But yeah, like I said, you try to lose. Battle Tower leaderboard. Yeah, my highest win streak was 149. Current highest streak of the day is 121. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, these guys have a really high win streak, and you can probably get it with some stall tactics or some cheesy tactics, but I don't recommend, guys. I don't recommend going for these streaks. You just want to do them quickly, and if you just go for 100, it doesn't feel like a grind, right? It just takes like 10 to 15 minutes depending on how far you get, and then you can do something else. Because if you sit here all day, it can get really boring. But yeah, guys, keep the tips in mind. Get the Iron Valiant if you are limited on money. Iron Valiant will get you. Iron Valiant can get you to 100 on your own. Just have some Pokemon as backups, but definitely consider getting all of these guys. And yeah, that's gonna round out the video. A good tip as well is look for a crew, guys, that provides these mons, because in our crew storage, I typically add these mons. Like you can see, the Iron Valiant is here. This Iron Valiant we have for the crew, and yeah, the Garchomp and Ceruledge I will put back. This is my own PvP Iron Valiant I'm using. So yeah, if you join our crew, you're able to use these mods as well, like the bosses team or the champions team, farming team. Really long video, hope it was helpful. Like I said, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. But if you're still watching and thought it was helpful, consider liking this video. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, guys. as I dish out a lot of Pokemon Blaze Online PvP content and PvE content now as well. And yeah, you can also join our Discord server, guys. The link in the description. If you want to join our crew, hit me up on Discord. And with that all being said, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace out, guys.